Was that Kamehameha? Sion, I can't even with you today. What's up, guys? Ash here, and today we are checking out Lightning Boy himself, Sion, and his Black Mage. Let's hop right into it. Criminals will need to beware as Black Mage is the highest damage class in the game. Sion is able to literally shred people in seconds. It's pretty crazy just to watch, and I'm sure many of you have already experienced this. It's just totally insane. Alright, so right here we're in 50 Violent. I don't know if you guys can see, but we've got Flame Crown over here. He's at 1 health. He's already gone into Berserk. If you guys aren't familiar with Berserk, it will basically give the machine invulnerability for 3 turns. Now, there's a couple ways you can deal with Berserk, but one of the ways is actually to do their max health and damage. And so if you can deal enough damage, you can kill them in 1, but if you don't deal enough damage, then they stay alive. Flame Crown has approximately 5,000 health, which of course for Sion there is just not a problem in the slightest. Sion deals so much damage, in fact, that he has what I like to call punch-through damage. And there are very few characters that can actually get to this level of damage. Right here, you'll notice the white clowns have a huge block rate. I think on average, like 50 to 75 or so. And you notice the one got hit for a regular hit, the other one did block, didn't really matter. It's just totally wild. And like right here, we have Hansen and Renzi, and so we go to do his ultimate, and you'll see right here Renzi is blocking, the Black Clown in the back is blocking, Hansen is blocking. And it doesn't really matter because Sion's just going to kill them anyway. And so, in stark contrast, here we have Bianca, who's also running Black Mage. And the difference between the two, primarily, is the massive amount of mobility that Bianca has. She can essentially keep moving through the map as long as she can kill. And of course this makes her incredibly deadly on characters that are not so low health, but even more deadly when she reaches the same point of punch through ability that Sion has. This is just wild, and it seems like she just gets faster and faster at killing. But what Sion lacks in mobility, Sion has definitely in area damage. What Bianca will do in 6 turns, Sion will usually do in 2. So right here, tons of clowns everywhere, and some of them are hidden, and this is always cool to use Flash Beam. You'll always get more targets than you imagine at first. So there's 4 dead right there. 2 dead right there. So there's 6 clowns just like that. On top of this amazing area damage that Sion does, Sion is also tied for the highest bonding slots in the game. And the only other person with this many is Ray. And it's very easy for Sion to get exalted, whether you're bonded with him or not. Just eating a little bit of food, that's all Sion wants to do is just eat some food, really. And so, because of these bonds, Sion ends up creating amazing opportunities that you would not really expect at all. So right here, Albus is just climbing down the ladder. I'm assuming a suppressive fire was about to go off, and Sion wasn't having it, so he covered down. And right here, some joker thinks he can hit 14-year-old girls. Not on Sion's watch. Right here, Albus is just moving in to go kill somebody, and Sion picks off another guy that would do him harm. It's pretty crazy, and so positioning plays a major factor in Sion's kit and role in the team. So when you're moving Sion, always consider his positioning, because where his positioning goes really matters. Especially on Black Mage, where he can literally just remove people at the blink of an eye. Right here, we're on 50 Violent, and we're fighting the Blood Destron. And not only does Sion provide cover, but with all these bonded teammates, he also gets pincers from them. So right here, Blood Destron tries to fight Irene kind of one-on-one after this pincer, and Irene ain't having it. Nobody gets the one-on-one Irene and live, that's for sure. So let's take a quick run of Sion's abilities that I recommend for Black Mage. First and foremost, probably one of the most intricate spells that he has is Ripple Flash. Think of Ripple Flash as your first line of attack. It's only 6 tiles, or six range. But as long as you do it right, it's going to hop 3 tiles to the nearest enemy for a total of 4 total character hits. This can have crazy effects, especially when covering. I don't know if you guys have seen a Ripple Flash cover, but it looks pretty crazy because, you know, if it's the right setup, it's just going to plow through. On top of that, I don't think everybody notices this as much, but Ripple also does more damage as the chain goes on. So when you're targeting, you really want to target the weakest health characters, or the ones that you know are going to fold, versus the ones that are not. So right here, you see both clowns have 2111 hip. And so what I'm going to do is target this black clown first, because they have really low block. So I fire it off. Obviously all 3 die, but look at what the second chain hit, 2115. It only killed it by 4 damage. And then the third chain, 2317. So, you know, always try to aim at the softest character first and go from there. Okay, so for the second ability, I actually recommend that you guys take Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is a great ability. This is going to serve as your boss killer slash kind of single target. And aside from doing incredible single target damage, Thunderbolt also acts as fall type attack. And so like right here, this sniper, you know, it's like an elite. He's behind bush, he's behind cover. I can guarantee you that, you know, if you're using a different ability like Thunderball or something, you'd probably be looking at like a 60% rate, or at least with my Sion. I didn't even look, but I know that I know that fall type is counting for this, and so fall type generally tends to just completely bypass anything related to that. And finally, no kit would be complete, no Black Mage kit would be complete without Flash Beam. Flash Beam is just nuts. Now, yeah, I could use Ripple Flash here, but why bother when I can kill like 6 at a time? Obviously, this is poorly thought out by the crabs. I'm assuming they were trying to get cover, basically. But that kind of lineup, you know, that screams Flash Beam. And so, you know, what's also neat about Flash Beam is you're going to get that 10 range. This is going to serve as his kind of long range damage. So right here, we have 4 clowns that are completely surrounding Sion. All 4 block. You see blue, 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 right? And this goes back to what I was trying to show you guys earlier with Ripple Flash. Just happened to be here. So he got hit first, the other 3 died, and that's that chain damage that I was explaining earlier. So I've kind of a choice right here, right? Sure, I could just Thunderbolt the guy in front of me, but then I won't get one shot, one kill. So now I'm going to load up Flash Beam, and if you position it just right, I can hit him and him. This guy's at full health, this guy's wounded. So, you know, if I fire this off, and sure, this is at 79, still go for it. I get both kills. That gives me overcharge, which leads me into my next turn, which then I can use, you know, just bolt that guy. And so, you know, Flash Beam gives you that extra, like, I wonder what I can do with this. And you'll find so many uses for this, including, you know, what I know it as wall hacking, shooting lasers through the wall to get a target and stuff like that. So this is such a versatile ability, and it's definitely a mandatory. And so we have the ability overview. Can't do much with Flash Hit. Occasionally I'll use this to activate pincers, but generally you won't be using this, and that's mostly because of the low ESP ratio. This is more of a battle mage kind of thing. But for the general abilities, of course, Ripple Flash, Thunderbolt, and then Flash Beam, like I mentioned. Important to note, they go in order of range. So your attack range on Ripple is 6, your attack range on Thunderbolt is 8, and your attack range on Flash Beam is 10. And I recommend you use them in that order. It's very rare occurrence that you don't use them in that order, you know, unless it's like blatantly obvious that you can get a Ripple over here and then just single out, you know, with Thunderbolt on a guy over there. These are definitely the bread and butter, and these are the ones I recommend. The only time I would not recommend Thunderbolt would be if you have high cast delay. So in that case, I would recommend your single target to be Lightning Ball. And we're talking about, like, you know, no cast delay reduction, basically. I'm willing to pay the 8 cast delay difference on my current build in order to get Fall Type. Fall Type does amazing things, and if you're used to using Lightning Ball, you'll see the difference immediately when you switch to Thunderbolt on targets like thieves and people in bush and stuff like that. But I do, you know, I like or Lightning Ball. It is 9 range, so that's pretty cool. Has good modifiers at 50% on exposed. That's definitely awesome. The reality is, Sion doesn't really need a whole lot of extra damage, so I don't find that, you know, incredibly useful. Flash Kick, again, this is more of a battle mage thing or a non-Sion thing at all. It doesn't do anything particularly special, just has a high attack power modifier. And then finally, Furious Lightning Guilt. This actually is not half bad. But again, for me, this is more of a battle mage thing, more like in the rough. You know, make no mistake, I'm going to show you guys a really good build. But Black Mage is, at its core, glass cannon type class. So for the most part, you won't need this. But this is definitely an awesome ability. Just don't recommend it for Black Mage. In short, how this should work is that when you're done, Sion should have killed everything within his sight. I actually don't even recommend Catharsis because he can generally kill, I don't know, 10 mobs at a time. Very rare where you will see there are more mobs that he can kill in one wave of all this. And then for overcharge, we're actually going to take, of course, Lightning Storm. This is for sure bread and butter. It's massive. It hits hard as hell. Love this ability. Again, for the reasons I just explained for Catharsis, I don't think Flash Beam Cannon is needed. You know, Flash Beam alone is already going to kill, you know, 4 or 5 people if you line it up right. I really haven't found a use for this. I have, however, found a use for Annihilation Kick. You may be surprised to know that defenses are unavailable when he uses this. On top of, it does 3 consecutive attacks. So I have definitely used this on, like Blood Cron, Jesus, Blood Destron, Black Destron. I've used this on Wei because he got in his face a few times. Um, and even though it's a 25% modifier, generally you're going to use this on something that just came up to you. And you'll also notice it has 100% additional damage in the still stance. So this can definitely put out some crazy damage. And I venture you guys to try it because I imagine if you're a normal Black Mage, you probably had Lightning Storm and Flash Beam Cannon. And very rare was the choice Flash Beam Cannon. So, take this defense unavailable when hit. This means that he can drop Zhao Zai's block to 0. And then do 3 hits at 100% still damage, even at 25% modifier. Sion is the highest damage character in the game, basically. So you better believe he'll drop even Zhao Zai face to face. So yeah, definitely try it out. Alright guys, so before we jump into the build, I'd like to go over his class mastery and just kind of like some definitions, because this was confusing to me when I first started. So Sion's class mastery is Black Magic Circuit. And so this is going to increase your hit chance by 2%, crit hit chance by 2%, and crit hit damage by 10% per applied ESP power mastery. What does that mean? So let's go ahead and put on Nerve Stimulus here. And so right here, what do we have? We have willpower. That gives an increased ESP power. Does that count as an ESP power? Does Electric Pulse count as an ESP power? It's lightning. Does the Mastery Set count as an ESP power? So if you know your stuff, this board will actually give you a total of 3 ESP power for a extra 6 crit and 30% crit hit damage. You see there on Black Magic Circuit 6 and Black Magic Circuit 30. And so if you're wondering what the hell is going on here, so for starters, it is counting its initial base class there. So this actual lightning version is giving him the default 1 point. Second, it is any type that's based around ESP power, such as lightning. So this is giving him his 2nd point. Then Nerve Stimulus here is giving him his 3rd point. And so if we were to add on, let's just say backup power. So to make sure that you want to know this, you want to be able to count this, you're going to get 1 from lightning, 2 from condenser, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course, you can actually check that. So 8 times 2 will be 16% for crit, and then 8 times 10 will be 80% for Black Magic Circuit. And I just think that that's important to know, because a lot of people are like, oh, what is ESP power? What does it do? Why isn't willpower adding to it? I don't understand, etc., etc. Alright guys, so this is what I consider the standard Black Mage build. And this is not the build I'm going to give you guys. This is just what I want to show to you in comparison. So I think honestly the only thing that would change this over to a normal build would be removing Burning the Soul and putting in Catharsis. That would make it the most basic of Black Mage builds out there. And this is just, to me, honestly, nothing new. I see 3 things immediately wrong with this. To start with, your only resistance shred is Magic Penetration, which you'll be getting 25%, and that is a huge amount, but that is severely lacking, especially when you get into the tougher mobs. 2, your only defense is Magic Library. So this is going to be 1.5% per 1 common, plus Forbidden Magic Book, which then makes it 3% per common mastery. Well, guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 common masteries, meaning you have a total of 12% damage reduction. Now combine that with 800 armor and 600 resistance, and you have your glass cannon. It would be no surprise that Sion dies in 1 or 2 hits. And then finally, 3, you're forgetting completely about Black Magic Circuit. You know, crit hit chance, crit hit damage per ESP power. What do we have here? We have Lightning User, 1, Electric Pulse, 2, and then Nerve Stimulus, 3. For a grand total of 6% crit hit chance and 30% crit hit damage. That is just not good enough. Alright, and finally we have my build, the Bloodwalker build. Of course, this Bloodwalker build is based on his personal mastery. Bloodwalker is the single strongest buff in the entire game. It's stronger even than Hero on Irene. So at the start of your turn, if you've gone under 33% health, which this version of Sion will actually be able to take quite a few hits, it's going to give you Bloodwalker, which is an aura, by the way. And basically, putting a target out of action will start recovering his health. So he's going to have life drain basically built into this, which is pretty awesome. Especially since, more importantly, putting a target out of action, that's what Sion does on a regular basis. It'll give you vigor recovery, speed, hit, crit chance, crit hit damage, block, and dodge. The numbers are just staggering. So yeah, it's nuts. But back to the actual build. Take a look, take a gander, see what you would keep, see what you would throw out. Obviously, there's a lot to go over here. So for the core offensive masteries, we are going to be taking Forbidden Magic Book. This is his pure damage. This is what Black Mage does best. There's really not much to say, but this is going to make up the bulk of his damage. So this is absolutely mandatory. Of course, we're going to have the ever staple one shot, one kill. And that's just to return action points when he does kill. And then Giant Thunder. So this is going to be one of the major differences and changes from a standard Black Mage build. The problem with Resistance Shred from the previous build was that it only had 25%. So this is going to give you Atom Decomposition, which is going to drop or give Resistance Shred by 4% per Lightning Mastery. Giant Thunder then increases that further to 5% per Lightning Mastery. So we're going to have, again, this is where the counting is important, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he's going to have 14 total Lightning ESP power masteries, which of course multiplied by 5 is then going to give you your 70% resistance shred. Added on with magic penetration on the 25, and it's going to give you a solid 95% resistance shred. And I'm going to explain kind of why we don't go all the way to 100 in the showcase coming up here. For core defensive masteries, we're actually going to be taking Reinforced Nerve Network. This again plays into these 14 Lightning Masteries. So Reinforced Nerve Network is nuts. And it's going to give you block and dodge, 1% per Lightning Mastery. It's going to give you speed per Lightning Mastery. It's then, for the set bonus, going to give you armor and resistance, which is going to give him just that tougher exterior to where he can take a hit. Increases by 10 per Lightning Mastery. Hit chance increase per Lightning Mastery. So you're going to see this Reinforced Nerve Network all over your character sheet. And of course, this is based on your Lightning Mastery, so this will all be multiplied by 14. So in the actual page, you're going to see speed, up by 14, and armor now is over 1,000 because of Control Nerve Network. Resistance is going to be at 800 because of Control Nerve Network. Block and dodge are going to be at acceptable levels at 52 or 57. Now this doesn't make him a tank by any means, but now Sion can definitely take a hit. And it's a lot easier to see in action, which I'll be showing, of course, in the showcase in a second. Along with that, we'll be taking Magic Training and Nerve Stimulus. this kind of extra health from body training and the bonus health and the bonus hit is really going to push him up to reasonable levels. So mine is running almost 3,000 here, and to me that's hybrid fighter tank status. That's like about where Elisa would sit on White Knight. So he's got this increase to armor, he's got this increase to resistance, block, dodge, and 3,000 health. You better believe Sion can definitely take a hit now, and that's just awesome. So for core support masteries, we're actually going to be taking Magical Accelerator. This does quite a few things. So for starters, Magical Reactor is going to kind of act as like a pseudo catharsis. It's just going to reduce all your cooldowns of your abilities. And if you didn't have this, I would recommend Catharsis for Sion, but as it is, it's really pretty darn good, and highly recommend it. On top of that, it's also going to reduce his cast delay of all spells by 50%, which this is a massive amount. So it's going to take Thunderbolt's normal base cast delay of 40, which is insane, and drop that down to 20. That's great. His second core support is going to be the Archmage Staff. Playing on to the cast delay, this is going to add another 20. So this is going to give you 70% cast delay reduction to make your spells pretty efficient. Ripple is only going to be 6. Thunderbolt at 12, or Lightning Ball, if you need to switch that out, is 4. Flash Beam will just be 12, so really helps there. On top of that, Archmage Staff is also going to have Reinforced Magic Tool, which is going to increase the equipped weapon by 15%, along with an extra effect. So you're going to get 30% on your equipped weapon. I highly recommend that you +9 your weapon because of this. It is going to stack, and it is going to give that extra ESP kick that allows Sion to, really blast it out here. Alright guys, so right here we are on 50 Violent. I am currently on the Black Mage build, the standard build that you saw earlier. And what we're going to do is kind of compare Thunderbolt on Black Destron here, kind of unabated, no negation. So right here you see he's doing a massive amount of damage. Magic Book is giving him 2760, Forbidden Magic Book, again, 2760. He's doing somewhere in the realm of 8,500 damage or something like that. I'll put the number down below. But notice how little the damage actually is after all is said and done, and that is because of Black Destron's resistances. So if you remember right, the Black Mage build only had Magic Penetration, which is giving 25%. This is basically, we're just going to round it out with Central Control Program to be about 6,000 resistance. So, despite having, 8,500 or so damage, 6,000 is being completely resisted, lowering this down dramatically. And if you were to hit, and not saying you would because aim chance is pretty low, 56% here, you would definitely get blocked because of 106% block, and it would be cut in half. So this 2562 would then become 1281. And obviously that's not bad. It's still Black Mage, but there's a better option. So this is the Bloodwalker showcase. This will be the difference, and we're going to go through the 3 things that I mentioned that I wasn't particularly fond of in a standard Black Mage build. So same scenario, same difficulty, there's no change. Black Destron even literally went to the same exact location. So right here, notice he's not doing the crazy 2,700 for Magic Book and Forbidden Magic Book. He's literally doing almost about half. And instead, his damage is almost double. Why is that? That's because of Resistance Shred and Atom Decomposition. So instead of the 25% that we had before, we're now running 95% Resistance Shred. And if you guys remember, Central Control Program combined with his resistances made up 6,000 resistance, whereas now that Resistance Shred goes all the way down to, combined together, let's just round it out at 1,000. So you're seeing this 4,489. One, Notice his hit rate. His hit rate is better, and that's because of the lightning rod. But block rate still the same at 106. This would still get shredded in half. Here's the thing: Black Destron has was a damage absorb where it cuts damage at a quarter of his health, which is approximately 2162 or something like that. So even if he were to block at this number, 4,489, it wouldn't matter because even if it got halved, he'd still be doing the max possible damage he could do on the Destron. This makes it so powerful that basically Sion could beat Destron, Black Destron, in the field without the need for EMP and all that stuff. Might take a little bit, might get a little messy, but you better believe he can definitely do it. Okay guys, so let's put all this together. There's three main takeaways from here. So I'm currently on the standard Black Mage build, and the first takeaway is that Black Mage itself, in its full normal build, is damage incarnate. You're going to be at 2,000, 2,100 ESP with a 400% bonus damage down there, if you can see it. That's insanity. Unfortunately, there's no resistance shred. So without that resistance shred, this pure massive damage is not good enough. Now, if you go the other direction and you decide to go pure lightning, and this isn't like a perfectly optimized build or anything like that, I just wanted to show, just so you guys can see. Yeah, you're going to have a ton of lightning masteries that's going to give you through the roof block and dodge and stuff. That's cool, but notice the ESP power. You're now going from 2,000, 2,100 to 1,400, and it's giving you a bonus multiplier of 25%. That is tickle me Elmo damage. That is definitely not good enough. And so this is where the Bloodwalker build comes into play. It's kind of the synergy between the two. We're taking the best skills from both Lightning and Black Mage to combine them together. You know, I'm at 1900 with 210% multiplier, enough to always kill just like you did before, and to even do punch through damage, while still keeping, you know, that increased armor, resistance, block, shred, dodge, and all that stuff. So the trick here is balance is key, at least on Sion's Black Mage, and you know, it's just good to keep in mind. And by the way, for the third set, the third issue that I had with Black Mage Circuit on the standard board, you remember, right? The Black Mage Circuit was just giving him 6% crit. This one is going to give him 28%, and then it was giving 30% crit damage. This one's giving him 140%. You know, so you're really seeing that total increase across the board here. And just to show real quick, so his crit chance on standard is 63, and crit hit damage is 309. And lastly, I just wanted to show some of Sion's defensive capabilities here. So if you remember right, the Ripple Flash Spotlight had the 4 clowns surrounding him. That's this right here. He's wide open. He dodged all 4 hits. You know, this is the kind of difference that you'll see. This is a different one, and you know, he gets a little bit of support here and doesn't land or hit, so it doesn't get blind or anything. But these black clowns, they actually have prior planning, which shreds dodge percentage by half. So obviously this is killer for people like Ray or Leeton who have dodge specialization. So, you know, you can see even here, and, you know, finally, this guy gets blinded by Ann, but I believe the guy after this actually lands a connect, and, you know, even if you pass through the dodge here, you still have to get through the block. So, you know, make no mistake, 50-60% dodge and block is no joke for sure. And just wanted to showcase that. Alright guys, that wraps up this video. If you are the kind of player that really enjoys Sion on Black Mage and you really like the damage, but you know, he only had like, let's say 1500 health with 10% block or dodge or something like that, and you just saw him going down real fast, you're like, screw this, I'm switching to Battle Mage. I'm going to get Battle Mage of Steel. I'm going to get all that extra block. That's cool. But, there is an alternative, and hopefully you guys got to see that and learn something from the video. Of course, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like or subscribe. Lets me know I'm doing a good job. Follow me on Twitch, and until next time.